on, everybody? You're right on time for another ride on the Groove Line with your host, Chris Stevens. Hopefully, you doing well out there. It's Friday. And for those of us who are in the mid Atlantic, well, actually, all around the country, down south, southeast, mid Atlantic, northeast, we supposed to be snowed in for the next few days. So hopefully, you guys have made it to your grocery store runs, done all of that. I'll probably end up doing that at some point today, I hope. But overall, hopefully we just all stay safe in this. But in the meantime, it is Friday. It's Philly Friday. So we're going to talk about a song that is now 55, well, going on 55 years old, but was covered by two different, well, actually, there was one person that did it originally and another Philly artist that covered it a couple years later down the line. So today, we are going back to 1971 at first, and that is Billy Paul, the late great Billy Paul, and his album Going East. And the song that we're going to talk about today is Love Buddies. Now, you got to remember, 1971, the sexual revolution hadn't fully gotten into full swing, but there were, little bits and pieces that hinted towards a revolution of sorts in that regard. And a song like Love Buddies sounds very, very innocuous or innocent for the time, but it's actually a very, very early nod to the whole friends with benefits thing that people swear by today, the hookup culture and all of that. So it's so funny because the song starts off with Billy just really, you only come around when your love comes down. That's meaning she only calls him when she needs, Billy is the emergency in the glass in this case. When I need you, you're never there. And so he's just like, I guess I got selfish ways, so I just wait for the day when I can feel your arms around me. So he knows what his role is in this situation. Like, he's basically who this woman calls when she needs a fix. And the way it's definitely a 1971 record with respect to the instrumentation. It's not very, you could tell that Tom Bell had a hand in arranging this because Tom Bell, God rest his soul, and yes, we are doing a Tom Bell episode on Monday because January 26th will be the 83rd anniversary of his birth. But you could tell Tom Bell arranged this because Tom Bell did not like people deviating from what he wrote on those charts, whether it be the drummers, whether it be the guitar players, whether it be the keyboards, whether it be the horns. Don't add no riffs to no Tom Bell stuff. And that was the law when you were in the studio with Tom Bell. And you could tell that because this sounds so much like something that the Stylistics would have done or that the Delphonics would have done. And those were the two groups that Tom was really working heavy with at that point in time. In fact, Stylistics had just had a hit the previous year with in 70, late 70, beginning of 71 with You're a Big Girl Now. And that wasn't Tom produced, but the rest of the stuff, like People Make the World Go Round, Bitch by Golly Wow, all of that. Yeah, those are, Love Buddy sounds like an early Stylistics record, and it definitely sounds like a Delphonics record when you think about La 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 means I love you in the drum pattern, the sweetness of the strings and the organ part that goes doo 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 in the bridge. That's the hook. That's my favorite part. Yeah, this song is absolutely a song about a dude who is coming to grips with the fact that this woman just needs him for a little bang time, basically. And this was an original Kenny and Leon composition, Kenny Gamble and Leon Huff. So we fast forward about 4 years to 1975, and we talk about this wonderful lady, Miss Dee Dee Sharp, and her first full-length album in over a decade, actually. It was her first full-length album on Philly International called Happy About the Whole Thing. And Happy About the Whole Thing starts off with a cover of Love Buddies. And you could tell that the instrumentation and the production of Philly International just got more and more sophisticated as the 70s progressed. Because when you hear that saxophone on Billy Paul's version and the saxophone on Dee Dee Sharp's version aren't all that dissimilar, but the accompanying music in the background, the strings on Dee Dee Sharp's version sound a little more disco-y, even though this is not a disco record. This is still a ballad, make no mistake about it. And the drums absolutely were, Tom didn't have a hand in arranging this one. This version of Love Buddies is a little more free-flowing, but it still sounded very sophisticated and very classic. And the way Dee Dee sings it, she's singing it from the woman's perspective now. Like, I know that, you're calling me because you want some of this good thing that I'm sitting on. And I I guess that's just what we are at this point. I mean, this ain't no way for me to live, and I got so much more to give. But I can't keep begging you, to love me. And for Kenny and Leon to write a song like this in 1971, and to have two different versions of it, less than 5 years apart, and they still connect the way they do. Like you can take either Billy Paul's original version or Dee Dee Sharp's cover and still get the same feeling, even though the instrumentation is wildly different. This was part of the time when MFSB started to have that little fracture, if you will. So it was like when Earl, like I say it all the time, Earl Young, Norman Baker, and Norman Harris and Ronnie Baker all said to Kenny and Leon, and went on their own path. And this is when folks like Charles Collins started coming in, to play drums. Michael Sugarbear Foreman on the bass. So this was a different type of time for Philadelphia International, because Kenny and Leon were starting to weave in new guys as the older guys who got tired of not being paid what they felt they were worth were cycling out. So you could tell that just by listening to everything that Philly International did post 1975, 1976, just sounds markedly different. And that includes the Teddy Pendergrass stuff, which we'll probably get into, a little later down the line as we hit anniversaries and things of that nature. But Love Buddies, I highly recommend you listen to both versions. If you have not, please go listen. Let us know what you think. But if you have listened to both versions, which one is your favorite? Do you prefer Billy Paul's version of Love Buddies, or do you prefer Dee Dee Sharp's version of Love Buddies? We'd love to know what you think. So leave it in the comments. And that's going to do it for this ride on the Groove Line. Greatly appreciate y'all as always. Contact information will be in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and tap that notification bell so you get notified of all the new videos that drop on this channel. We got a special guest coming on Monday. I'll do an interview on Monday, but it'll probably be out midpoint next week. I am so excited. Lord, I'm so excited to talk to these folks. I can't wait to share this interview with y'all. It's going to be a blast, and I'm looking forward to sharing it with y'all. So yes, we got a lot of good stuff coming. We're closing in on a couple of milestones. So when we hit those milestones, I will let you know, and I will, thank you in advance. But yes, don't forget to like and comment on these videos too. I do talk back in the comments, as you guys have probably gathered by now. So thank you guys for riding with me on the Groove Line, and until the next time we ride, enjoy the weekend. And for all you people in the path of this snowstorm, please stay safe. May you find the groove, or may the groove find you.